While America was building bigger pickup trucks, while China was racing towards 600-kilometer electric SUVs, an Indian company asked a very different question. What if the future of transport isn't bigger, but smaller, cheaper, and brutally practical? This is the Tata Ace Pro, a mini truck that starts at around $4,500 ex-showroom in India, and might quietly reshape last-mile logistics across emerging markets. But here's the real question. Is this just a cheap work vehicle? Or is it a masterclass in engineering for the real economy? The global auto industry loves headlines. Horsepower, 0 to 100 times. Touchscreens. Range. But that's not how most vehicles make money. In India, Southeast Asia, Africa, and parts of Latin America, millions of small business owners depend on one thing: a small commercial vehicle that runs every single day. Vegetable vendors, milk distributors, e-commerce delivery drivers, small contractors. For them, if the truck doesn't run, income equals zero. Yet for years, mini trucks had cramped cabins, heavy steering, poor fuel efficiency, high maintenance costs. The industry optimized for load capacity, but small operators needed something else: low running cost, easy repairs, reliable torque, predictable earnings. That's where Tata saw an opportunity. Tata Motors isn't a startup chasing hype. Founded in 1945, part of the Tata Group established in 1868 by Jamsetji Tata, it is now one of India's largest automotive manufacturers. Tata leads India's commercial vehicle segment, and in recent years has also become the country's largest EV manufacturer by volume. In commercial vehicles, scale matters. Tata sells hundreds of thousands of trucks and commercial vehicles annually, with a service network spanning 3,000 plus touchpoints across India. That network is critical because in the mini truck business, after-sales service is more important than marketing. The ACE platform itself isn't new. Since its original launch in 2005, the Tata Ace has sold over 2 million units. The Ace Pro is its refined, aggressively priced evolution. Let's look at the numbers. Starting price, approximately $4,500, ex-showroom India, petrol variant. Payload capacity, approximately 750 kilograms, varies by variant. Engine, petrol variant, approximately 694 cubic centimeters. Two-cylinder engine power, approximately 30 horsepower torque, approximately 55 to 60 newton meters. That may sound small, but here's what matters. Peak torque arrives at low RPM. For stop-and-go city logistics, low RPM torque, greater than top speed. This is deliberate engineering. Let's break this down. An internal combustion engine works by igniting fuel-air mixture, forcing pistons down, rotating a crankshaft, and transferring motion through a gearbox to the wheels. But in commercial vehicles, tuning matters more than peak output. Tata tuned this engine for strong low-end torque, simple cooling systems, fewer complex electronics, easy mechanical access. Why? Because in real-world Indian conditions, vehicles get overloaded, roads are rough, maintenance is delayed, traffic is constant. An engine designed for ideal lab conditions would fail. This one is built for abuse. Now here's where strategy kicks in. Tata didn't stop at petrol. They added CNG. CNG variants typically reduce running costs by 30 to 40% compared to petrol, depending on local fuel prices. For a driver covering 80 kilometers daily, that could mean saving hundreds of dollars annually. For small margin businesses, that's survival. And then there's the EV. Instead of chasing 500 kilometers range, the Ace EV focuses on urban logistics. Typical EV Ace specs: battery, approximately 21 to 24 kilowatt hours range, approximately 120 to 150 kilometers, realistic city range. Charging, approximately 6 to 7 hours AC charging. Now here's the key insight. Most last-mile vehicles in Indian cities drive less than 100 kilometers per day. So why pay for a massive battery? The EV version eliminates fuel cost, engine oil changes, clutch replacements, many vibration-related failures. Running costs can drop to nearly 1 to 1.5 rupees per kilometer, compared to 4 to 6 rupees per kilometer for petrol. For fleet operators with 100 vehicles, that difference becomes massive. This isn't a flashy EV, it's a fleet economics machine. Most companies choose a side, EV only, or fossil fuel loyalist. Tata did something smarter. Petrol, CNG, EV. Same platform. Why is this powerful? Because infrastructure in India is uneven. Big cities to EV charging growing. Mid-sized cities to CNG strong. Rural areas to petrol dominant. Instead of betting on one future, Tata hedged across all three. That reduces regulatory risk, market risk, infrastructure risk. It's not just engineering, it's portfolio strategy. Now, let's compare. Mahindra Jito. Similar payload, competitive pricing, but smaller service reach. Ashok Leyland. DOST higher payload, more powerful, but more expensive and positioned slightly higher. Chinese small EV cargo vans. Cheaper in some markets, but often struggle with durability and service networks. Tata's advantage? Scale plus service plus brand trust. In commercial vehicles, trust compounds over decades. So, how does Tata sell a truck at $4,500? It's not magic, it's economics. 1. Massive manufacturing scale. 2. Local sourcing of components. 3. Minimal electronics. 4. Shared platform engineering. 5. High volume, low margin strategy. Instead of making a large profit per unit, Tata plays the long game. More vehicles to more service revenue to more parts. Sales to brand lock-in. This is ecosystem economics. Here's the deeper insight. The global EV conversation is dominated by Tesla, BYD, Rivian, high-end consumers. But real EV adoption may not start with luxury. It may start with logistics, quiet, unseen, small. If even 10% of India's last-mile delivery fleet electrifies, that's tens of thousands of vehicles annually. And if this model expands into Africa, Southeast Asia, Latin America, markets where affordability matters more than aesthetics, the Ace Pro could quietly become a global template. But there are risks. EV battery degradation in hot climates, financing access for small operators, rising raw material costs, increasing competition from low-cost Chinese manufacturers. The model works, but only if reliability holds. In commercial transport, failure spreads fast by word of mouth. The Tata Ace Pro isn't glamorous. It won't dominate Instagram. It won't win drag races. But it might represent something more important. Engineering designed for economic reality. In a world obsessed with bigger vehicles, Tata optimized for the millions who move small loads every day. And sometimes, the biggest disruption comes in the smallest package. If you enjoy grounded, analytical breakdowns of the technology shaping the real economy, consider subscribing. Because the future of mobility isn't just electric. It's economic.